love this song in this game. I love the opening music. There was another lesson in between the last one on the test, but it was a mock test, so there isn't really much point in me talking about that. So I might just skip ahead and do the actual test area. I do have notes on my test, and I know exactly where I went. So it'd be just a case of finding similar sort of areas. It's a bit tricky, and I can't do it in one sitting because traffic in the game and everything.
Couldn't bring myself to do it.
So first point of call is find the car. So I'm not going to use this car. I'm going to find another hatchback, and we'll see which one we get. I'll use this time to try and think of what exactly... Was that a hatchback? Oh, it's a Bentley Soul. Sorry. Oh, that's green. I had a car like that before, didn't I? But I don't want that one. I do want something different. So, as I said right in the introduction of these videos, the night before the exam, I did not sleep. I don't think anyone does. Even if you're very proficient at driving, I think everyone gets nervous about it. You try not to think about it, and you tell yourself, if you fail, just do it again. But I think it's more the embarrassment of failing that people are really worried about. Thinking the examiners are going to be highly robotic, not very easy to talk to. You just get worked up, and yeah, it's the same with the bike test and now this car test. What's this? This is like a Range Rover. Yeah, let's do that, and I'm going to get this V-Spade to blue, and then we'll try and... Oh, I should not have gone in here. Oh, I should not have done that. Jesus. Oh, it's alright, the bus is helping me. Well, here we go, we're doing this then. If you like old traditions to close the video sessions off. Look at this way. Come on, you can't see me. Shh. I swear the time it takes the police to find you. Yes, done it. Nice. Let's do this one for a change. This is the one we did a few episodes ago, wasn't it? Taco Bomb. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, bollocks. Oh, maybe this isn't the place. This is a completely new area. Galivantabala. SUVs. Right, repaired vehicle. One thing I could talk about is which car I prefer, the Clio or the Fiesta. I'm probably going to say the Clio because of how modern it was. I mean, the Fiesta was fine, but I did like some of the Clio's features. Yeah, let's do this. When you say Renault Clio, it's not the manliest car, is it? It's difficult to answer. I may be biased towards the Clio because it's a car I actually passed in, where the Fiesta was when I was still just learning and doing all...
You fucking idiot!
Doing all that stuff. Well, I need to find somewhere... Ooh. I need to find somewhere I can call base for the test centre. What is that vehicle? I mean, I could possibly use this place. It's quite industrial and sort of... It's reminiscent of the test centre. I don't know what place this is. I wonder if you can drive that. Let me just have a quick look. Can! Wow! The problem is I don't want to lose the car I've already got. I was tempted to take this out for a joyride a bit, but I better not. So let's see, it's night time, it's 2 o'clock. So I can tell you about the actual parking. The test centre is like this big grey building, and there's a bit of a tennis court area up near it, which is where they do the Module 1 motorbike tests. They do things very by time. That's not very good English, is it? You have to be on time, but you have to be there 10 minutes early. But you also cannot enter the car park until your allotted time, because there's people coming in and out, and they need that space for part of the test and to park up. For me, I don't like bay parking very much, or I didn't. I'm not too bad now after I've been doing it myself, but the training doesn't do it. And the first thing I had to do was to actually bay park, but this wasn't part of the test. It was pretty much, I have to get in there, and I completely fucked it up. There was actually a big convoy of learners going in at the same time. There was like at least six of us. I just could not get the angle. I tried to reverse to the right, so I could like take off quite easily. Yeah, I was shy and I was getting frustrated. It ended up I was very, very to the left of the base. It's like, oh shit, this is not a good start. But anyway, we went inside the building, and it was surprisingly colourful. I think the walls were blue. There was quite a lot of people quite happy looking. I think I'm asking myself, how can you be happy at a time like this? It's like, I mean, possibly it was parents. Oh, little Jimmy's doing his card test. I was just sat there dreading life, pondering what the fuck I'm doing. But anyway, I just had to go there, sitting. My instructor was telling me positive thoughts, and I was in such a state. Anyway, my name got called out. It was this tallish guy. He says, do you mind taking us to your car, please? Got in the car. Literally the moment we got outside, it started raining. Pathetic fallacy to the max. It's like, really? Life? Are you doing this to me? So yeah, first things first, they get you to read a license plate from 20 metres away. And I did so, and it was fine, and then we went immediately into the car, and then he just said, right, when you're ready, pull out and go. Now, as I said, there was a convoy of about 6 people. Because of my shit bay parking, it's like, oh god, I can't do this. But fortunately, the other learners seemed to be a bit more confident than me. So they actually set off first, and literally, as I was about to tell myself, look, you have to go, you can't wait here. The last learner went by, and I was able to pull out without hitting anything. I was so fucking relieved. That began the test. I'm just going to show you what I did and try and find places to explain what I did, and then we will get going. So let's pretend we're setting off now. Another thing, I'll try my hardest to drive properly. So I'm going to have to put a marker so I remember where I am, so I can come back and say, oh, that's a test finished. Where's the entrance to this place? It's not a good start. Right, here we go. It's one-way bloody American. As I said, there was a big convoy, about 6 of us. Literally, as I said, it started raining, but then it really rained. As I was waiting at a junction like this, I know there's a zebra crossing here, but just for sake of argument, well, not argument, but just for sake of what I did, I was here. So at this junction, everyone turns right, and I was the only one which went left. There's like varying degrees of how quickly people were doing it, but when it came to my turn, I pulled out and it was perfectly fine. So after this car, look both ways, and then go. I'm going to be going slowly, so this won't be the speed. If you did it this speed, it would be bad. And there might be a few pause menus, sorry, while I go through. And this isn't on the map. Great, that is good planning. So when I was learning, there was a few landmarks which I paid attention to. What is this road? Oh! It's a strange road system. And I've gone the wrong way! Shit. Yeah, make sure when you're driving, you go the right way. On the test, I just got confused because there's no marking to say turn here. As I said, yeah, there's landmarks. And one of them was a red bricked roundabout. Again, I can't show you the closest is this brick here, but I can't show you it because there's no roundabouts in GTA 5. We went straight on at that roundabout, which takes you directly into the city. The first sign of the examiner being nice, at that red bricked roundabout, the examiner actually gave me a hint saying, oh, you should go in the right-hand lane here, and I said thank you. I was grateful for the hint. One thing you got to realise is that the examiners are on a time restraint. They appreciate that even if you're a good driver, they don't want you to get lost. They will give you advice if it's a particularly difficult area. And he actually did that to me throughout. He didn't have to do that, he could have just let me fail. I kind of want to get out of this place. The airport isn't really... If an airport was this quiet, it'd be so amazing to learn in, but no. So I might be going completely back on myself here. There were some annoying bits in the test route. I don't know if you can hear that bump, 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 but there's a car just pulled up outside my house. And it's very loud and annoying. It's actually night time when I'm recording this, and that car is like blazing its headlights through my window, and it's a bit distracting actually, so I'm going to have to deal with it. Tell him to fuck off! Driving test success, that actually has a really accurate depiction of the test and the sort of things they say and make you do. And it was actually on a route, and what the hell are these structures? What do you do here? Okay, this is getting closer to the city, I think. Traffic lights here. The next part, there was this mini roundabout, and there's actually a queue of cars coming to it. But right after the bloody roundabout was a crossing, so not too dissimilar from this crossroad here. Why would you design it like that? Why would you make it dangerous for pedestrians? So there was this queue of cars, I couldn't physically go, and I was like, he's going to put me down for hesitation here, because I'm not moving, but I knew myself I could not physically go. So we waited for what, 3 minutes? He didn't mark anything down, so it was perfectly fine. But oh, that was like the first time thinking that I'm doing bad here. What is going on with these lanes? No, it's a tram. Oh, okay. That's probably why it's a bit more annoying. Whoa! You see that? No, what are you doing? That was my lane, you twat. Oh, this song is so peaceful and relaxing. It's so good. Right, so I'm going to turn. Oh, this is that place, isn't it? That bay.
I thought everyone in this city had a car.
What's going on here?
Hey, bro, can you get us out of here?
What is this bullshit?
No, not again. I don't want to die again, like that other time. This wasn't on the test, by the way. Here we go. 1. Is there a clocking down nearby? Welcome that. Cat! Cat! Oh shit. Oh! Want a clean shot at him, but he's a twat. Hello? What's going on here? Oh wow! Wow!
Oh shit, sorry.
Oops. Is it gonna be
Up, you piece of shit.
Is it gonna be suspicious if I drive by that police car? Don't mind me, officers. Don't mind me. Like, I'm just gonna drive quickly so I can repair this car. Oh god. Oh.
What brings you in today?
Could you wipe the blood off the hood, please? Now, let's get back on track. So the next thing I did was parallel parking. I admit that when I shown you this in that other lesson, or 2 lessons, I missed out a vital thing. And I'm sorry about that. So the next thing I did was parallel park, and it was on a quiet road. And there was actually a driveway, similar sort of situation to this. There was a driveway to a place where it says, just for the sake of the test, just do it. So it was actually a blue car I was parked. I'll explain that again, because I did it wrong. So your starting position wants the front of the car to be in the middle of the passenger side. And then what you do, all round observations, and then you're looking in this mirror, and then you go here. So the back of the car is in the middle of this. Then at this point, full lock this way, and then all round observations, because your car is going to swing out, and then you just slowly go this way until you're about at a 45-degree angle. Then at this point, all round observations, and then you straighten the wheel, and usually from full lock to straighten the wheel is 2 steerings to the other direction, and then you just use that and then go slowly back. When your mirror, I mean it's a bit inaccurate, when your mirror is about within the first third of the car, then you do mostly full lock to the other direction, and then you just go slowly in like that, and then we're behind it. In order to pass, you have to be within 1 to 2 car lengths from the car in front. So really what I did now would have been fine. And then the only other thing, you have to be a foot from the curb. And he said, yes, thank you, well done, and please continue. They've mentioned before that in the test, they make you do one manoeuvre, either bay parking or parallel parking. And I got parallel parking, and it was my strongest, so that was pretty good. Yeah, so the next major, well, I say major, it wasn't really that major. There was this section where there was 2 mini roundabouts very close together. he actually gave me plenty of warning about this, and he did actually say, look, you're doing that. So the next 2 steps I got written down were just little funny miscellaneous things. When I first came to the city to do training, the instructor took me to a place which he knew that the examiners like to take people. Yeah, I just recognised it, and I didn't say anything, but I recognised it and thought, oh great. And then there was another part of that same place which had a funny weird junction, and I actually commented on that to the examiner and says, oh, this is that weird. Hello. I recognise you. Or do I literally have to get out? Is that?
She was screaming no, and he just kept hitting her. It's just over here.
How do I get the gun out? Oops. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, I don't want to be doing this. Oh, police! Oh, fucking hell. Come on, stop, stop, stop! Please, stop! Right, so next, it was close to a point where I was about to do dual carriageways, and I knew the place because my instructor taken me there before. But because I knew there was a dual carriageway, I actually was going. I wasn't breaking the speed limit, but I was like quite close. This music. This was my lane! Why are you beeping at me, you twat? There's a stop sign here. Give way. Oh! I'm gonna get past you. Try not to hit one of you. Shoot at me. There's dual carriageway. I'm actually very close to one, so we need to get on it somehow. Oh, I was in the wrong lane. Yeah, when you're in town in cities ready to do this, make sure you know what lane. Keep looking at the road. I mean, I fucked up there because I didn't see it, and it's dark. It won't be dark when you're doing your test. So, I don't like dual carriageways, and I was a bit anxious about this, but the time came, and I fumbled with the gears. I was in too low a gear, and yeah, I got onto. I wasn't stopping like this. There were only other lanes, so yeah, I built up speed and then merged onto it. But this dual carriageway is different to that one I was on. But let's just pretend I did that for sake of time. So yeah, I was in too low a gear. I forgot to indicate. He didn't mark it down. I think he thought, right, you've I know you're a safe driver because you've been doing everything right until this. He didn't say this, but doing everything right until this point. I think he just let me off. My gear afterwards, I did actually say, oh, sorry about that, because I realised I was in too low a gear for this. But anyway, as I said in the lesson breakdown for dual carriageways, we weren't on it for that long, so I might come off at this next area, which is where that spray place was, in fact. Came off it and went down a slip road like this, and that was that part of the test done. So there was a Pizza Hut on the corner. I recognised the Pizza Hut because I knew it was near to where the test centre was, so I thought I was going to go one direction, but then the examiner didn't go that way, and as I was on the roundabout, because I was expecting to go forward, I think he confirms which exit he wanted me to come off at. But yeah, rather than going straight on at the Pizza Hut roundabout, we turned left. That took the first exit, the third exit, and the exits are a bit confusing on that roundabout. Whoa, you twat! Idiot you are. There's no traffic lights, there's no stop sign. How does this work? Well, whatever. So next I have to find an industrial estate. Tell you what, I'll go back to the shooty place. So this next stage, the examiner, again... Oh, I completely forgot to tell you! So half of the test, following the sat-nav, and the other half, you're doing what it tells you. So everything until just before the dual carriageway was on the sat-nav. So now it was him saying, go left, go right, etc. He warns me about an emergency stop I had to do. Oh! Great, well done, pedestrian. Oh, wow, this song! Convoy! What are you doing? Oh, shit. What the fuck? Why are you doing that? This isn't a one-way street, is it? Okay, it's a shame it's night time again, but it was a similar place like this, and he said, right, I'm going to make an emergency stop, but I was aware of this car behind me. I didn't say anything, but I asked him to clarify what he wanted me to do, even though I fully knew what he wanted me to do. So he said, right, when I raise my hands, I'm going to want you to do emergency stop. Pretty much. emergency stop. Can't really tell you much. But when he made me do that, the car, which I was waiting for...
Hey, classy. You want to spend some time together?
I'm on my driving test. Oh yeah, after I did the emergency test, I don't like emergency tests. Emergency stop. I don't like emergency stops. And I actually exclaimed, "Geez, I didn't enjoy doing that." It was kind of weird because I was talking, but the examiner was like very professional, didn't really speak to me unless it was necessary. So I think I was mainly talking to myself, and maybe he realised that. And then I've not got it written down, but actually there was a point where he wanted me to pull up. So yeah, this is a good example. He wanted me to pull up behind this vehicle. Now, this is where I could have potentially failed. What it was, after this, he wanted me to pull out, and literally as I was pulling out, this car went past. But I seen it. Thank fuck I seen it, because as I was doing it, I did like all the clip stuff ready, I was turning that way, and then I did glance that way, and this car went by, and I was like, oof, okay, that was close. But if I didn't do that, I would have failed. So that was the clench moment. I didn't realise that until after the test, but yeah, I'll have to head back to what would have been the test centre now. There was just a few roundabouts left. There was one crossroad. So yeah, it was a case of heading back. Yeah, at this point, I kind of knew myself that I had passed, but I was just taking care for the last few miles. So I was thinking, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up. You've done this, just don't fuck up now. I was just concentrated, but I was also a bit relaxed as well. Oh, another thing I forgot to say. When I was doing the reading test, where you just look for, you read the a license plate of another car, and then I got in the car. He started to show me, tell me questions, and in my case, my question was about the headrest. Where's that police car? Pull over for you. Yeah. What's that building again? This is kind of accurate to what the test was like, because it was like a big round circuit, kind of. See, I had that. What was my other question I had? Are you merging? Come on. That's me flashing you in GTA. No, not you, you twat! And then there was only one other little thing which happened towards the end, just before we got to the test centre, where we were at these traffic lights. This car turned right, didn't indicate, and I sort of muttered, semi-muttered under my breath, semi-said, "Oh, nice indication there." I had no response from anyone. Well, that's another thing I forgot to tell you. In these tests, you can either just be yourself with the examiner. Be yourself, that was a weird thing to say. Be just you and the examiner, or you can invite your instructor to come along with you. I kind of thought, okay, this is a new instructor. It might be useful for him to see another test route and to see how a biker deals with the exam. So I kind of did it for his sake. It wasn't a case of, oh, I'm too scared if he's not here. Yeah, he's not allowed to say anything to you. He can't react, he can't do anything. He just has to watch. Going up to the test centre now, actually. I'm calling it a test centre, but I don't know what it is exactly. Right, so this was the last thing I did on the test. Yeah, I've entered the wrong... This is a one-way system. And the sat-nav took me the wrong way. So, when we're at the test centre, I was kind of relaxing. What a shit car park this is. You can't drive around it, for fuck's sake. I was worried he was going to sneak it in a bay park. But he didn't. He says, right, I just want you to drive right to where the tennis courts would be, for argument's sake. Say this is it. So yeah, go straight to the gate and stop and make the car safe. Make the car safe means put into neutral, put the handbrake on and turn the engine off. That was it. That was the test. And the moment I stopped the test, he says, "You like making things hard for yourself, don't you? Because you've passed." The feeling at that point, how do you describe it? I would say, my heart sank! But it's not a particularly masculine thing to say, is it? But I didn't understand his last statement. Saying, you like making things hard for yourself, don't you? And he says the last half, well, last 30%, I guess. When I said, I was like, don't fuck up, but I was also relaxed. They said that I acted very nervously, and I couldn't understand that, because that was the most relaxed I was of the whole experience. I didn't understand that, and I still don't understand that. Oh yeah, so parallel park, the instructor who was in the car, he actually said I did it perfectly well. Very good. He was actually very happy with how I did that. Oh wow. I might like to try that. He might die here, just as a disclaimer. I hope not. Right, first person, because that's how we do it. And then speed up. Oh great. Thanks Minnie, you ruined my life. Oh, have I done something to my... Oh, broke the front bit again. Yes! Where am I? Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Amazing! Well, I cleared the bridge, so there we go. What else did my test people say? So yeah, you mentioned about the Pizza Hut situation, which was fine. And the bit where I pulls behind the vehicle and then continues. Oh, this car is really knackered now. The front wheel isn't moving. Oh Jesus, that was the test. The test was 40 minutes. As much as I like Rebel Radio, I'm going to change to something else just for now. So yeah, that was the test. I passed. And one thing which surprised me actually, if you pass your test, fail or pass, you're not allowed to drive back from the test centre. I think because of your adrenaline, that they decided that was a bad thing to do. You can't drive home from the test centre. Your instructor does that. Yeah, it was all relaxed. He was super happy for me. I think he was more excited than I was actually. It was the first time we put the radio on, and the first song which played was Jesus. I thought that was super appropriate. I apparently had my own personal Jesus during the test, and he helped me out. So that was good. But yeah, my instructor was super pleased with me. And I felt so relieved that I'd finished this segment of life. I can now legally drive a car and a motorbike. I shouldn't be on the tracks, but seeing that this is probably the final episode, I'll do it. Oh god! Oh, that would have been good in first person. So there you go everyone, that is all the driving lessons and the tests. So I don't know how to close this, guys. I don't know how to finish this episode, because I could just drive around and piss about now, but it's kind of besides the point. Oh god. Oh. Right. I think that would have done more damage to the car than that. I think I'm going to do one last thing before I close this lesson, and that is go back to Stab City from the introduction, where it all started. I hope this has been enjoyable and informative for people, and I hope you've not been thinking I've just been babbling about, thinking I know everything about driving, because I don't, going over all this stuff which I could remember being told, and try to explain it a bit for you guys. But yeah, for everyone about to do learning or anything, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you enjoy it and don't get too anxious if you're that way inclined about things. It's something you get through, and once you've done it, you can say you've done it. You just have to stick at it and keep going. If you fail, don't worry, it doesn't matter. Everyone does things in their own time, and don't expect too much of yourself as well. I mean, some people are going to like breeze through it, because that's just sod's law, isn't it? And I suppose technically you could say I breezed through it, but I didn't. I wasn't super confident. It's done, and I hope you do all the best in all your years of driving. I've actually enjoyed this, and I've enjoyed the shenanigans which have happened, like by accident. So it wasn't just me being very serious, saying, "Oh, this is what you have to do when you drive." At least we had a bit of fun as well. There's the big mountain, which me and a friend cycled up, and also took our cars up, like bad, low-powered cars, seeing if we can make it, and we did. Yeah, if you want an accurate depiction of what the car test is like, check out my driving test success video. I mean, it didn't have dual carriageways on that, but to sort of give you the ambience, check that out. So here we go. This is where it all began. Again, thank you for watching everyone, and I hope this has been interesting to watch and useful to watch. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.